Hey guys, this is Amy John again.
And Ivory.
We are going to do another video today. Our first one actually was supposed to be all this combined, but it got too long, so we cut it off. This one is traveling to them.
Yes, traveling to the con. Talking about car issues and versus riding versus driving, things like that.
Yeah, because that is very important to have. One thing is choosing a big enough vehicle if it's far away from you. If you have more than like 4 people in a car.
I have a 2-door car, and to one of the cons that I went to, I had 5 people and all of their luggage, which was about 7 bags. Some of them were really big suitcases. It was a really cramped ride. There was not an inch of space in the car. It was cramped and a little bit dangerous because the back window was blocked off.
Yeah, make sure that's always clear. And if you have big props for a cosplay, make sure if they can, to be like broken apart to be put back together again easily. Because like if you have Yoko's gun from Gurren Lagann, that thing is really long and really huge. So it's best to have it broken down and be able to be put away easily.
Yes.
And see, I've only ridden in a car. I haven't got to drive yet. So I would say make sure there's leg room for people. I'm a very tall girl, so I had to have leg room. And if there's a lot of luggage, ow, for one thing, because I've gotten hit in the head with luggage before. It's not fun. And then it's also for the fact that it can poke into your side. It's cramped for the other people. So just stuff like that, it's really important to have, not to have.
Although I will say, riding a few times myself, if you have a honey cosplayer with the little bunny stuffed animal, it is one of the best pillows. But other than that, I usually do the driving. So, as I mentioned, I don't always drive because if you have more than 3 or 4 hour drive, you really need to take shifts because even nighttime, it's really easy to fall asleep. I almost fell asleep behind the wheel. Well, I did, and we almost wrecked, but we didn't. Everybody was safe because one of the people was still awake. But it's really dangerous to drive for a long time, as if you're going on interstates, it's just road after road. It's really easy to get tired, so take shifts.
Yeah, and also, I think we forgot to mention in the last video is to have, if you're underage, to have a parent with you. It would be easier and safer for you guys if you're underage. I mean, my first con, I was a little kid. Even though there wasn't a dealer's room, I didn't have a lot of money to go get food, and I was downtown in Louisville by myself, first time ever, and I didn't know what to do.
And on the other side of that, if you're driving and do have a minor, their parents entrusted you to drive them to this con and take care of them at this con. If something happens to them, you're responsible for it. If they don't have money, you need to make sure that they get fed. And you have to think about that.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility if you're overage and you have to take care of a younger person. I mean, it's not that bad, but it can be really stressing on you. Because if you go to a big con, you have to worry about where they're at, if they're okay, if they're going to get fed, how they're going to get back to you or the con, just stuff like that.
I think we've both been through the same thing with, we have a couple underage friends that have been to cons with us, and we were rooming with them, and we're kind of the mothering type, so we do take care of everybody. But some of our friends get their allowance from their parents for the con, and they get to the con, they spend it in the dealer room. They don't think, I have to buy food with this money, too.
Yeah. I know when I went to OMG Con for the first time, I blew my money on the dealer room, actually. Because I was overage. I was 18 or 19 at the time. It was the first time I ever had a dealer's room for a con.
Yeah.
Dealer's room takes money. It's a good place to find, like, a lot of stuff, but it does take a lot of your money.
It is a black hole.
Yeah. I was without food for maybe the last day and half of the second day, because I spent all my money in the dealer's room on the first day. So it's not good to blow your money there. Cons do take a lot of money, so make sure you save up.
And you have to think about not just at the con money, but if people are going to pitch in for gas.
Yeah. And if there's an emergency, like, I know when she went to OhioCon the first year, I wasn't with them. Her and our friends went up there because one of them wanted to go, and they actually had a room and all that. They didn't have a room to stay at.
Yeah, the person that invited everybody invited 3 other people. One of those person drove. They
We're not good.
They ended up paying for all of the gas that it took to get up there. And the directions that we had were not very good. We went 50 miles in the wrong direction, about an hour out of our way. So do make sure you have good directions.
A GPS would be nice.
A GPS works very well. But also, when we got up to the con, we didn't know the area. They didn't look up where parking structures were parking structures do cost money. You have to think about that before you go. And what we ended up doing was parking in a spare lot, and we went to the con, registered, got over things, had the fun time that day. We went out the first day of the con when we were going to go find a hotel, and our car wasn't there. It got towed. It was $150 the cab and the towing company cost to get our car back, to be able to do anything for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, so make sure you know where to park at a convention. Some places like OMG, they have a lot. It's easy to park there. OhioCon, it's a little different. If you have a hotel there, you can just park in the hotel lobby where you're staying. Like, my hotel was a little further away, and we had to drive to the convention center. And luckily, even though I didn't know where to park, we parked at the back of the convention center, and there was a little area where it said parking. So we parked there and other places for the week. So make sure you know where to park, have a GPS on you. Also, another thing is, if it's like winter, do not have the windows down in the car or the air conditioning not too hot, because I freeze easily, and I know it could be really hectic on other people to have it really hot or really cold, no matter what time of year.
And that's even with driving. You have to consider everybody else in the car. And you have to consider what would distract the driver. I shake really bad when I'm cold. If somebody just rolls the window down and it's snowing, not only does that distract me because I'm cold, that makes me shake, and my hands are on the wheel. I may swerve a little bit, and if it's snowing, there may be ice. You have to think about safety on the road.
So no yelling and no drama. We're really stressing the no drama part.
Yes.
Because it's not fun. It ruins the whole convention.
And with safety on the road, speeding, reckless driving, swerving around because you're jumping to the music and lose control of the wheel, you really have to think about being safe, because being pulled over, getting in a wreck, that slows down your time for the con, as well as just puts everybody in a bad mood.
Yeah. Something else to have is to have a first aid kit in the car, just not just for when there's an accident. Like, I'm saying Band-Aids, peroxide, stuff like that is nice to have, especially for the con in case someone gets hurt. But you also have to have a first aid kit in case, like, your tire blows. You have to have, I guess, flares at night. I don't know the stuff.
If it's wintertime, blanket in case the battery dies, you don't have your heater. Have a jack, a spare tire, just basic car safety things, which you can get car safety kits just about everywhere, or build your own, kind of like a bug out bag. But you want to have that, but you want to do your maintenance check beforehand, if at all possible. Make sure your oil's up to date. Make sure your tires have good air pressure and tread. Just the basic maintenance kit, not maintenance kit, but the maintenance checks that you would want to do beforehand to make sure you can make a 2 or 3 hour drive or more if that's the case.
Yeah, so just have a maintenance check. And then have cell phones on you guys. I know my friend, he was in a wreck going to OhioCon, and he was staying in my hotel room. He texted me saying there was a problem, and he said, I'm in a wreck. I freaked out. I had to ask my fiance if he could go and take me to him, see if he's okay. And when I got there, the whole tire, like, it was bent under the car, and one girl was crying, the person who was driving. It was her car. I went over there and tried to help her calm her down, and my friend, he was freaking out later on, and I was like, hey, it's okay, calm down, calm down. So it's always nice to have a cell phone on you, not just to call 911, but to also call a friend and be like, I need someone to talk to, I'm freaking out. And, like, also to help when you get to the con, keep in contact with your friends.
Yes.
Because underage, again, they run off. They will go do their own thing, and then you're like, what happened?
And I've tried to meet up with some of my friends, and they were too distracted with what was going on. The only way I found them was I heard some of the background noise on their cell phone, and I told them just to stay there, and I would come and get them. Because I went by that area earlier that day, not today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's really important to have communications.
Yeah. So, but I think that's about it for this. If there's any other questions you guys have.
I do have
one
more
thing.
With the cell phones, and not just 911, if it's not really life and death or like emergency situation, I mean, you do still need to have some emergency numbers in your phone, like AAA or, like I said, friends that might be able to help you. On the way to one of the cons that I went to, one of my tires blew.
Yeah, she texted me, asked me about this highway in Louisville, the Gene Snyder, and I was like, I don't know where that's at, but, like, I knew where she was, basically, but I couldn't go help her because I was at work at the time, and I didn't have a car.
But we had to call
AAA.
I think it was AAA. We had to call to get them to send somebody out. And even then, it was November, so it was pretty cold, and our car was...
You were going to SequoiaCon.
Yeah. Which it took a good hour or two for anybody to come and get us to get us on our donut, because my jack also, like, it's the triangle, kind of little wimpy jack, but it went from this to this. Because I don't know exactly how it happened, because one of the guys that was in the car was doing it, but...
Yeah.
it just didn't work.
Make sure you have someone that knows how to fix cars.
Make sure they're competent.
Yeah. But if there's any more questions, guys, just comment below. We're going to put both our DAs and our fake Facebook pages.
Our fake books.
Yeah, our fake books. Fan pages on in the doobly-doo below. And subscribe. I still don't know where that button is.
I think it's right up here.
Yeah, let's just do this. Subscribe for more videos. And just have fun for Halloween, guys. Bye.